I heard there was this podcast, yo, about something funny like wrestling and so, and you really care about wrestling, don't you? There are drop kicks and leases all over the board, and then something called a wrestling hold. It's a super duper fun podcast about wrestling. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. That wrestling show. Well, Fro and Bill and maybe a guest or two is here to hold your hand and guide you through a podcast about wrestling. We have a lot of extreme fun, and that's without the gun, because I needed something to rhyme fun with. That wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show, that wrestling show. Well, sit your behinds gently down and listen to our podcast sound and try to guess this week's pro question. You win a lot of cool things and also help Bill with his bills. That's a super duper fun competition. That wrestling show. 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 That wrestling show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And, Fro, we're going to have a fun little episode here this week.
Well, according to me, WWE isn't really that fun anymore. Yeah. Oh my god, this week proved my point. I watched Raw and SmackDown and I was like, yeah, good. Okay, I'm done with Raw. Oh, I can't wait to see SmackDown. And it opens with a Randy Orton promo. Randy Orton promo! What the fuck? I was so irritated. This has been one hell of a week. Where I went on a 20-minute rant last week of how bad the product is, and then they show me a product that's even worse than I could imagine on both Raw and SmackDown. Oh my god.
And you know the weird thing is, and I sort of had this feeling the other day, was I thought this weekend was SummerSlam.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Because I thought that as well, and it felt like that when I was done with Raw and SmackDown. It felt like, oh, it's SummerSlam this week. No, you have to wait.
Yeah, then you look at the calendar and you're like, oh, shit.
But I watched a 30-minute recap, and you know when you have to fast forward in a recap, then it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like when you can't even bother to see the recap for 30 minutes. Oh, Jesus. Wow. I wanted to kill the creatives.
Yeah, it was not the best week. Although there was one really good match this week, and that was The Bar and New Day.
That was a really good match.
They had a really good main event match.
Yeah.
But this has not been...
Other than that, whew.
This has not been WWE's best week. Both in product and out the product. And I'll mention why in a moment. But also this week on the show, Fro is going to take his American history test.
Ah, cool. Yes, I can't wait to be wrong about things.
Fro has no idea what I'm going to ask him. So...
when was the American independence? I have no clue.
No, don't worry. I'm not going to ask you that one.
I know it was the 4th of July.
There you go. But yeah. You know what?
What year it was.
Right. Well, let's get started on the big news of the week. And normally we save the big news of the week till probably towards the end, but I gotta say this right off the bat because, ladies and gentlemen, it is official. Ring of Honor and Madison Square Garden have sold, or Ring of Honor and New Japan have sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yep. I'm not surprised at all.
This is incredible, Fro. This is incredible.
It's not really incredible, to be honest.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think it's that surprising, to be honest. I thought it would sell out quite right away, to be honest, because I'm a little surprised that it didn't sell out faster. Like, if I was in America, I would go.
Well, the thing there is they had 2 separate days of selling tickets.
Right.
The first one was this past Wednesday, which was for the pre-sale, which I was able to get tickets for. So I will be at this event on April the 6th. And the report was that they sold 60% of those tickets from the pre-sale in like that day and a half. And then they came out to the general public this morning, and according to Mike Johnson of PWInsider.com, the rest of the tickets were sold out in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And
I'm not surprised at all. Like, I would get tickets if I had the possibility.
And I think the reason why I say that this is incredible, it's not because of, oh my God, they were able to do it. I think a lot of us knew that they were going to be able to do it. It's just the fact that for so long, if you've lived here in the United States, the only place that ever ran Madison Square Garden for the last 50 some odd years has been Vince McMahon and WWE. Yeah. And now, on April the 6th, we're going to have a wrestling promotion that is not owned, not run by Vince McMahon, running a show in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And I was reading this little blurb on one of the wrestling websites, And Dave Meltzer made a very good point, and I didn't really think about this, and I want to see if you agree with his point. The people that are coming to New York might be coming only for this show, and then they might not be staying for WrestleMania, and that's going to hurt the attendance at WrestleMania.
No. I think it's so different products that I don't really think there will be any difference at all. I can see the argument, but then again, I would go to both. So no, it's two different products that doesn't really. It's kind of interesting, and I really want to talk about this, but I feel like New Japan Wrestling almost doesn't compete with WWE anymore.
Oh, they're on their own level. They're a separate entity.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that's frustrating WWE right now, is when you look back at the Monday Night War 20 years ago, when WCW was competing with WWF, they were basically doing everything they could, WCW I'm talking about,
to look like WWE.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons why ultimately WWE won that war. Here, New Japan and Ring of Honor, they're the complete opposite. They're the 180 here, where they're not trying to be sports entertainment. They're being more of an entertaining sport, and I credit Jim Cornette for that saying, entertaining sport.
I mean, they are more wrestling than WWE is at the moment, so...
Oh, yeah. And it's not that they don't have flashy characters. They do. It's just they present them differently.
But I kind of recognize that because I watched TNA this week as well. I still really enjoy TNA. It's on the level of better than Raw, and this week definitely better than SmackDown. But better than I think it's right now actually better than Raw, and I do recommend people to check out Impact Wrestling and support. Maybe look into looking at their product again, because I will say give TNA a second chance.
Well, if I have free time on Thursday, I would like to. But
you can do something I do. I don't watch it on Thursday live. I download it. I'm a pirate.
Yeah, you are. I just want to bring this up. Joe Koff, who's the COO of Ring of Honor, he just released a statement about the sellout, and it's a very quick comment. He said, "We are humbled and appreciative of our fans and their belief and support of Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling. All we can say is thank you."
Easy peasy.
I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, you just sold out Madison Square Garden. There's nothing else to say, really. So, but that is an incredible feat. That really is.
I have some good and sad news from West Coast Wrestling.
Okay.
They have been bought out. So West Coast Wrestling will no longer be on YouTube. Thanks to Luke for that information, because he works for West Coast Wrestling. They have joined independent streaming service for $9.99 a month. Let me check out what that is while you tell the audience some other news.
Okay. Well, while Fro's checking that out, as you guys know, there's been a lot of weird stuff going on lately with the development of the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie, which Dave Bautista is one of the stars of
Jesus
the movie.
Christ.
So Bautista was interviewed by Shortlist.com earlier this week, and he said during the interview that he would walk away from the film if Disney drops the existing script that was written by James Gunn, who directed the first two Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Bautista's exact quotes were, "Nobody's defending his tweets, but this was a smear campaign on a good man. I spoke to Chris Pratt the day after it happened, and he's a bit religious, so he wanted time to pray and figure it out. But I was more like, F this is bullshit. James is one of the kindest, most decent people I've met." So this third version of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie is not scheduled to be released until 2020. So they may have to be rushing on that one if things don't go their way.
Yeah, West Coast Wrestling is joining something called Title Match Wrestling Network.
What? What's the name of it?
Title Match Wrestling Network.
Title Match Wrestling Network. I don't think I've ever heard of them.
Yeah, they have Pro Wrestling Syndicate, Fest Wrestling, AML Wrestling, New Tavern Entertaining Wrestling, Backbroker Media, Pro Wrestling Network, Wrestle Pro, IWA Deep South, then Guardian Championship Wrestling, Battle Club Pro, UWW Wrestling, 3PW Wrestling, Reality of Wrestling, I heard of them.
Yeah. CZW.
CZW, High Spots, WCW, The Mad Lucha, okay, Bombshell Ladies Wrestling, Ohio Wrestling Network, Defy Wrestling, LA Canadian Championship Wrestling, Jesus Christ, W Wrestling, IWA Mid-South Women's Wrestling. They have, a
lot here, folks. They have a lot here.
A lot of independent wrestling I never ever heard of. So, yeah.
I wonder if this is on...
$9.99.
$9.99. I wonder if this is available on... Doesn't look like it's available on Roku.
You can get 2 weeks free trial.
I'd rather keep my money right now.
Yeah. I said to Luke, well, thank you for showing me good wrestling
yeah.
For so long. But it's good for them. It's It's for us that likes independent wrestling like me. It's a little sad because they will still have clips, but not full episodes.
Right.
So.
Right. All right. Thank you for informing us. I had not heard about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of informing, I don't know if the next thing I'm about to say is going to have people run away from Raw this Monday night or pique their interest in turning it on. But for one night only, Renee Young will be joining the commentary team for Monday night this week.
I don't mind that.
Jonathan Coachman is going to be on assignment. I'm going to assume it is something golf related.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that as well.
Although this weekend is the PGA Championship, so I think that's what it is. So, for one night only, Renee Young is going to be commentating with Michael Cole and Corey Graves.
I mean, I don't mind.
No, I don't mind either, and this is going to be interesting because with the recent news, not too long ago, that Renee Young is going to join Beth Phoenix and Michael Cole on commentary for the Mae Young Classic, which was recorded earlier this week, but I have not read the spoilers. Fro probably has not read the spoilers. So
Fro doesn't care enough to read the spoilers.
There you go. So we're gonna keep our word. We're not gonna spoil anything that happened until they air the episodes, probably either at the end of this month or early September.
I never. I have it like this with books and movies and TV shows as well. I never read spoilers.
I used to when SmackDown, like in the early stages, would be on like Thursdays, which was forever and a day ago. So,
this is kind of funny because me and Luke, we talked about this a long time ago, and he said he's looking forward to have it on Fridays again or Thursdays again. And I said, why is that? And he's like, yeah, if there's a pay-per-view on Sunday, there's wrestling, and even if there's like even better if there's NXT. So it's NXT pay-per-view, then it's Raw, then it's SmackDown. Like 4 days in a row with wrestling. At least there will be some break between Monday and SmackDown.
Exactly.
I actually understand that point. Is there any news of are they going to record it live or not?
From what I last read, it is going to be live.
Oh, thank God.
So they made.
I don't want to go back to SmackDown being not live. That was awful.
So I think if I remember reading it right, the people that are going to do SmackDown are going to leave on Thursday. They're going to go to do the SmackDown episode, and then they're going to go Saturday, Sunday, do live events, and then they'll be home Monday.
Not smart.
So that's a pretty good break there, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty good break there.
Anyways, we have had a winner in our contest, I saw.
Yes, by 1 minute we had a winner.
Yeah, I saw it.
So the question last week that Fro asked was, in what round did the Mike Tyson-Lennox Lewis boxing match stop at? What round did it end at? And I honestly did not remember that answer at all. That's how long ago that fight was. It ended up being the 8th round where the match was stopped. Lennox Lewis was the winner of the match. And the winner of our trivia for this week was Jason Richardson. Who got it in by 1 minute. That's how close it was this week.
Nice. Well, we have another question, and we are going back to the pay-per-views.
Okay.
We're doing Victory Road from 2007.
Okay.
And Victory Road is a TNA pay-per-view for everybody that doesn't know. What should the question be? Attendance? No. Do you want to guess the attendance?
I'm going to say 900.
Yeah, 900 is
Only because that was the question you asked like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and that was the answer, so...
I tell you what, this week's question is going to be, what match was the shortest match during the pay-per-view?
Okay.
What was the shortest match during the pay-per-view? And you can guess that after we're done going through it.
Right.
And that's... Yes, it's including the dark matches.
Okay.
Okay? Oh, no, it's not included.
No,
the dark match,
okay, so dark match is not included.
No, okay.
So
because
just the main pay-per-view.
Main pay-per-view, because that would be a little too easy, because the dark match is always the shortest. And it was this time with 4 minutes and 20 seconds. But it was Saran Tony, Nin, and that is Havoc and Martyr, against Akira, Rashin, and Brute Essay.
Ooh.
Never heard of two of those wrestlers.
I'm going to say the second team you said.
No. Sarantine won.
Okay.
Okay, then we go to the main pay-per-view. Ultimate X Gauntlet match to determine the contender to the TNA X Division Championship. And it was Jay Lethal, Christopher Daniels, Puma, Homicide, Sanjay Dutt, P.J. Williams, Shark Boy, Alex Skipper, Cass, and Senshi.
Senshi? Did you say Chris Sabin?
No, I said Christopher Daniels.
Alright, I'm gonna go Christopher Daniels.
Ah, that is actually correct.
Hey! Alright.
Then we have the Voodoo Kin Mafia, and for people that doesn't know who the Voodoo Kin Mafia is, like me, that's BJ James, Kip James with Roxy.
Laveau.
Oh my god. Laveau.
Mm-hmm.
And it's against Basham and Dimaya with Christy Hemme and Lance Hoyt.
I'm gonna say the Voodoo Kin Mafia.
Yeah. Never ever heard of them in my entire life. Then we have a singles match against Rhino and James Storm.
I'm gonna say James Storm.
That is correct. Then we have a tag team match. It is the Motor City Machine Guns, and it is against Jerry Lynn and Bob Backlund. Remember when Bob Backlund was in TNA for?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the first team.
Yes. Just like if you want to find out what's wrong with TNA in 2007, having people like Bob fucking Backlund wrestling on your pay-per-view is something that is wrong.
Oh,
yes.
Poor Bob.
I mean, is he in the Hall of Fame?
He is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes. I mean, should someone that age wrestle in 2007? Nope.
Unless they're in really good shape, which Bob Backlund was and probably still is.
Well, okay. We agree to disagree.
Yes, we do.
Then we have a mixed tag team match, and it was Robert Roode and Miss Brooks, against Eric Young and Gail Kim.
I'm gonna say Robert Roode and Miss Brooks.
It was Miss Brooks, yes.
Very good.
Then we have a singles match. It is Chris Harris against Christian Cage.
I'm going to say Christian Cage.
Yes. Then we have a tag team match. It was AJ Styles and Tomoko against Sting and Abyss.
I'm going to say AJ and Tomko.
No, Sting and Abyss.
Really?
Yeah. Then we have a tag team match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, X Division, and World Tag Team Championships.
Oh, no.
So both were on the line.
So all the titles were on the line.
Yeah. And it was Kurt Angle that was the world champion, and Samoa Joe that was the X Division champion, against Team 3D, Brother Ray and Brother Devon.
Oh, you know what? Okay, that main event's coming back to me now. That was Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe.
It was.
And now, oh yeah, that was the main event. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So the question again, what was the shortest match of the pay-per-view?
That wasn't the dark match.
That was not the dark match. That's going to be the important thing. And this is your last chance to get in on this. Because next week, during our live episode of that wrestling show where we're going to preview SummerSlam, I know Fro's not looking forward to it, but
I'm looking more forward to the previewing it than watching it. If I am going to watch it, I have still not decided if I will not.
But yeah, we're gonna do our wheel.
Yeah, and those two people that won last year's Patreon thing, you have 1 week, or
I'll send them a message and talk to them again to get in touch with you. So
1 week you have now, or you will go back into the spinning.
Yep, into the pool, I guess we could say.
Into the pool. And I will tell you, there's a really, really nice surprise win for one of the drawings next week. That even Bill doesn't know.
No, I have no idea. I haven't figured out a prize yet, folks, so I'll figure it out between now and next week. Maybe I'll just be random and pick something completely random. But you know what? We were talking about. We just talked about SummerSlam. We're going to preview that next week, and we talked about Ring of Honor and New Japan in Madison Square Garden. There is a show coming up 3 weeks from tomorrow. The All In event taking place in Chicago. And one of the big questions going into this event was, how were people going to see it if they did not have tickets for this event? Well, earlier this week, we got the official announcement of how you can watch All In. Because, ladies and gentlemen, there's not going to be just one option. There's not going to be two options. There's going to be 3 options to watch this huge event.
Let me guess one of them.
Okay, go right ahead.
Is one of them getting in your friend's suitcase and getting buried inside of the main event and then getting out of the suitcase again without having a ticket? Is that one way of seeing it?
Actually, that was number 4.
Oh.
Unfortunately. So the 3 ways that you can...
Jokes!
So the 3 ways that you can watch this event are on traditional pay-per-view outlets. You can also watch it on the Fight.tv website or app, and that'll be $39.99. I think that's going to be the same for pay-per-view outlets. And you can also watch it on Ring of Honor's Honor Club service.
Okay.
But that's not all. Because the first hour of the event, which will be an hour before the pay-per-view, so it's going to be the event. The pay-per-view
pre-show?
starts. Yeah, pre-show. Pre-show. Yeah. So the pay-per-view starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. The pre-show starts at 6. That is going to be free, airing all over the United States on WGN America.
Whoa!
And that special
is really, really smart of them.
And that special is called All In 0 Hour.
Cool.
I have the card as of right now in front of me. Obviously, this can change between now and 3 weeks. The two pre-show matches that are going to take place.
Oh, should we not wait before this main event so we don't know, so we know what the main event is going to be all in stone?
Oh, you want to wait?
Yeah, let's wait.
Right.
To look.
I mean, we weren't going to do picks, but all right. I'll make you wait.
Are we going to pay a pick now, 3 weeks before?
No.
Them?
Well, no. No.
Oh.
Although I do want to mention one quick match real quick, if you don't mind.
Yeah. No.
They are going to have, and this is what they call an over-budget battle royal.
Okay.
It is going to be a 15-person battle royal where the winner of the match will end up being on the pay-per-view challenging Jay Lethal for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Ha! That's a genius idea.
Participants announced for this include Ethan Page, Colt Cabana, Rocky Romero, Moose, and probably my favorite nicknamed wrestler going today, Thick Mama Pump, Jordan Grace.
That's a really, really good nickname.
Best nickname in the business today, Thick Mama Pump.
What would your wrestler name be?
Wow. You know, I've had a couple ideas. Like, have you ever heard of the barbecue sauce Sweet Baby Ray?
Yes.
I would be Sweet Baby Willie.
Ah.
That would be one of them.
I think I would be the Norwegian King. That sounds brutal.
Of course, William Outlet could come up. You never know.
The Norwegian something.
Right.
I would be. Yeah. The Norwegian. Yeah.
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fat bastard.
Oh boy. But yeah.
Oh boy.
Pretty cool stuff. I like the news. I'll be honest, I was surprised that they were able to get traditional pay-per-view. I thought it was going to be an online-only event.
Yeah, but that's price though. Hoo-hee-ha.
But you know what though? For $40, I will more than likely be paying for that. Because I want to see this event.
More or likely steal it the day after.
Real quick, Ms. and Mrs., their audience has gone down a little bit.
This episode was not as good as
it wasn't.
First. No.
Their smallest audience to date.
It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Timber. They had 1,225,000 overnight viewers.
Yeah.
So, but next week's episode is going to be probably the big episode because this is the one where Maurice is going to give birth to their baby.
Yeah.
So that'll be worth watching.
Yeah. I still enjoy it. I just thought this episode number 3 was worse than number 2, and I didn't. I like first episode was genius. 2 was so-so. I thought this was even more so-so.
Right.
So I was like, I can.
They still have good moments.
Yeah, it's still funny. It's still better than Total Divas. So.
Oh God, yeah, anything's better than Total Divas.
Not anything.
Oh, well, that's true. Kardashians are worse.
Keeping up with the Kardashians has its really high points when it's off TV.
Did you read? There was a recent study that came out. Of course, I don't know how much.
Yeah, with, people that watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians are stupid.
They're like worse people.
Yes.
That is an actual study, folks. I read that. So. All right, let's talk about the. Oh. All right.
Oh, let's do a quiz, I was thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's get to the G1. The A block is over. Today was their last day.
Cool.
So these are spoilers if you have not watched it. So if you haven't watched it yet, you might want to fast forward like a minute or two. So this is the final weekend. Block A has concluded, and Hiroshi Tanahashi has won the A block.
Oh, he deserves it.
He does deserve it. His record was 7 wins, 1 loss, which happened to be the Jay White, and 1 draw. The draw came today in his last match against Kazuchika Okada, who finished second with 13 points. Jay White finished third with 12 points. Then a 2-way tie for fourth with Evil and Suzuki at 10 points. And then a 4-way tie at the bottom. Toji Makabe, Michael Elgin, Yoshihashi, Bad Luck Fale, and Adam Page at 6 points. So Tanahashi's in the finals. He is in the final match that's going to take place on Sunday. Who he's going to face has yet to be determined. That will be determined tomorrow. Here's the situation. Kenny Omega and Tetsuya Naito are tied for first with 12 points.
Yeah.
Then Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. are next at 10. Sabre more than likely is out of it. I can't see him winning this group, mathematically. So this is what it boils down to. For Kenny Omega to win the group, Naito has to either lose his match or have his match end in a draw, and then Omega has to win or his match has to end in a draw to win the group.
Yeah, I have a feeling that Naito will take it. It looks like that.
Mm-hmm. For Naito to win the group, he has to win his match or go to 30-minute time limit, and then Omega has to lose.
Yeah.
Ibushi is the easiest to understand how he wins the group. He has to beat Kenny Omega, and Naito has to lose for Ibushi to win the group.
But I don't see Naito losing that match, though.
I don't know, though. Zack Sabre Jr. has been quite impressive.
Well, we'll see. It's all scripted, so who knows?
I don't know, but I'll tell you.
Why are you laughing at that? It's true.
I know, but still, I think it's very interesting. I know I'm going to definitely watch.
I love wrestling, and I know it's fake.
I'm going to definitely watch the Tanahashi-Okada match today, just so I could see, if it was any good. Usually they have a very good match.
Yeah.
With the two of them. And then Omega and Ibushi, that's going to be so huge tomorrow. It's going to be freaking huge, so. And then the finals are on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we'll see how the finals go. And then whoever wins the tournament. And the funny thing is, because I remember hearing about this last year, if Omega wins the tournament, because he is the IWGP champion, he gets to pick who is going to face him on the 4th of January at the Tokyo Dome.
And that's why he will win the whole tournament, by the way.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. Does he pick Kota Ibushi if he wins? Okay. Yes. All right. Have to wait and see. Now, I do want to mention also this week, New Japan laid down some new rules for the wrestlers because Tama Tonga, I'm not trying to point him out in particular, but the last several weeks he's more than likely been unprofessional. Let's just call it as that. He went on Twitter, said some inappropriate things to different people, which I'm not going to say on the show. And then he got into a little bit of an argument with Roman Reigns, which is sort of funny. And then, earlier this week, he went into the stands and he grabbed a fan. Not one of those staged fans, but a fan. He just grabbed them. So they were like,
maybe he was a little warm and needed the fan to blow him. That's kind of fun.
Man, Tama Tonga would curse you out for that one. So, because of all of this, they are going to stop the wrestlers using profanity in their matches and their promos. Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. Because, now you're trying to be worldwide, you're trying to be global. And you sort of don't want that reputation of, oh, they're that wrestling company that has the wrestlers curse all the time.
I don't think they have that.
I don't know. It's just me. Alright. Did you have something you were going to bring up?
I'm ready to be quizzed.
Oh, you're ready to be quizzed. Okay. So for those of you who did not join us last week, I had a pop quiz, a surprise pop quiz from Fro, testing my Norway history. And how many did I get right? 2 or 3?
3, I think.
Okay, so I did about 50. What was it? You gotta give me 6 questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did 50%. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that grade.
Oh.
So this week, Fro is going to take his American history test. Now, the same rules are going to apply. There's going to be 6 questions.
Okay.
Obviously, I had to change some of them because if I said to you, who's the current president of the United States, it's...
a monkey.
Close enough. Close enough. Okay.
Right now, I'm not sure I can see the difference.
Aww.
No.
Would have also accepted.
Whatever have a monkey done against me?
Well, they've written Shakespeare.
Yeah, true.
We would have also accepted an orangutan.
Yeah. If you ask me who was the Minister of Health or something, I would have no clue.
All right. Okay, so this first question, sort of like yours last week, is a pretty easy question.
Okay.
What's the capital of the United States?
Do you know what? This is kind of funny. It's like, I thought that was New York for the longest fucking time.
Right.
Because, I think it's probably because, like, everybody was like, oh, in Norway there's a lot of flights going to New York. And everybody's, like, talking of going to New York. So, I mean, it's not that stupid just to say New York. But I believe it's Washington, D.C.
You are correct. It is Washington, D.C. New York City is the largest city in the United States.
Right. So it wouldn't be that strange to think that.
But that would have been a good guess. Honestly, yeah. I think for those who have never, not know their U.S. history, that would have been a good guess. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone on yet. Okay. What is our country's motto? What?
I was going to say live long and prosper.
That's Star Trek.
Yeah, I know, it's Star Trek. It's your country's motto.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that thing that's written on the Statue of Liberty, like bring or prosper, blah blah blah, bring the poor, blah blah blah?
No.
The motto?
Mm-mm.
No fucking clue.
All right. The U.S. motto is, "In God We Trust." If you have a $1 bill, a U.S. $1 bill, it's on there. All right. Who is the author of the Declaration of Independence?
Well, isn't there a lot of people?
There are that signed it, but I'll give you a clue to help you out.
Yeah, because I was like, is it Washington? Is it that fucking easy?
Hold on. The clue is the author would end up becoming a president of the United States.
Yeah, I just said Washington.
It is
maybe.
It is not George Washington.
Okay.
Remember, it's a future president.
A future president. Do you know what? This I know from epic rap battles of history.
Okay.
It's the third president, isn't it?
Yes. You know what? I'll give it to you. You said the number. I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, but don't say it.
Okay.
It's not Adams.
No, Adams was the second.
Because Adams was the second. Washington, Adams. Oh, I see him in front of me. Oh, he's the one with the wooden teeth.
He's
right?
on the $2 bill.
That helps me absolutely. I don't have a $2 bill. Oh, jeez, this is a little embarrassing. Washington Adams. He's one of the great. Like I have totally brain freeze now.
Okay.
Give me his first letter.
T.
T in the first name or last name?
T in the first name.
Theodore Roosevelt. No, that's.
Do you want the first letter of his last name?
Yeah.
J. Who'd you say? Thomas Jefferson, yes.
Yeah.
That is correct. You broke up a little bit when saying it, but I put it together. So, you got it. It is Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah.
Alright. So far you're doing pretty good. You know what? Because you said third president. I would have given you the point, so.
It irked me because it was the third. He has to rule again. Yeah. We should after the show.
Mm-hmm.
And in the rap, yeah, and the first draft, when it's then first had a draft, and I was like, oh, little Rick, and it was like, that's the one that it's it flourished.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Next question. On the United States flag, there are 50 stars and 13 stripes.
Yeah.
Two-part question. What do the 50 stars represent, and what do the 13 stripes represent?
Well, I know the stars are how many states there is.
That's correct. That's one.
Is it the original amount of states that started the United States?
Yes, the 13 stripes are the ones those are the 13 colonies. Woo! Very good.
Wow.
You're doing a lot better than I thought you would. All right.
Thank you to actually that's a game. I think of that. That it's called Day Tentacles. And they have to go back to the future and change the flag in that game.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew that because of the Day of the Tentacles.
Yeah. All right. Question 5. This will be... I will give you 1 point for the correct answer on the first question. The second one's a bonus question. So the bonus question doesn't really count. I just want to do that one for fun. What is our national bird?
The eagle.
The what?
Bald eagle?
Yes, that is correct. You were bringing up a little bit.
Am I cracking up? Should I call you back?
Yeah, call me back in a second. Yeah, hang up real quick. So, Fro is getting his stuff fixed. He doesn't know what the last question's going to be, folks. That's going to be the fun part. Alright. There we go. Much better. Okay, so you did get that question right. It is bald eagle.
Bald eagle.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, this other question, the bonus question, this is just for fun. Oh, we lost him. So, like I said...
Just when Bill said, and your bonus question is...
Yeah.
Internet, like...
Okay, so this question, like I said, is a bonus question. This is not going to count on your grade.
Okay.
You did guess correctly that bald eagle is the national bird.
That is also thanks to epic wrap-up rules of history, I know that.
All right.
Okay, yes.
Can you tell me what the original choice for the national bird was?
Ha!
You'll laugh at the answer. Give it a guess.
I can't, but I'm going to guess the albatross.
Good guess, but no.
That's a big bird.
Good guess, but no. The original choice was a turkey.
Oh.
And, of course, the turkey found a good home being our Thanksgiving dinner meal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you're doing pretty good. You've gotten 4 right, I believe, at this point.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. All right, last question. This is a 2-part question, and this does pertain to U.S. history.
Okay.
Who was the first U.S. Secretary of Labor, and who is the Secretary of Labor related to?
No clue.
Oh, come on. You got to take a guess.
No, I have absolutely no clue.
Would you like me to give you a letter?
No, because I have absolutely no clue.
All right. I'll give you the answer, but then you got to figure out who he's related to.
Okay.
The first U.S. Secretary of Labor was William B. Wilson.
Okay, he's related to you.
Take a guess.
Yeah, he's related to you.
That is correct. He is related to me. He is my great-great-grandfather.
Wow.
Yes, he was appointed Secretary of Labor by Woodrow Wilson, not related.
It's like me asking you who the finance minister of Norway is. Who knows that?
Well, I wanted to see if you would have gotten that. Just out of curiosity. See, you learned something today.
Ask me next week if I remember it.
Okay, I actually will next week on our live show.
I'm going to guess no. But Woodrow Wilson? Is that?
William Wilson.
Okay, because I heard of Woodrow Wilson.
Yeah, Woodrow was a U.S. president.
Yes.
Who my grandmother hated forever and a day, but that's...
Why?
Well, let's get into it real quick. Well, during World War I, this is a funny story now that I look back on it. Woodrow Wilson sent doctors...
Well, welcome to a funny story about World War.
Yeah, welcome to Bill's wacky family.
Yeah.
So, Woodrow Wilson sent doctors over to help out in World War I.
Okay.
Well, my grandmother's mother got sick, and she ended up passing away. And my grandmother blamed Woodrow Wilson for her mother's death, and she ended up becoming a lifelong Republican. All because of that. Why did you become a Republican? Did you like their beliefs? No. Why? Because their president killed my mother.
Just let me impress you a little, because if I don't remember incorrectly,
okay,
after Thomas Jefferson, wasn't it James Madison that was president after that?
I believe so. Let me...
Huh. Dear, I impressed you. I think so.
Yeah, you're correct, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It was Madison, and then Monroe.
But then Monroe, then it was Adams.
Yep, John Quincy Adams.
Then it was Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the next one I'm not sure of.
Yeah, then you sort of lose track after the 7th. It was Martin Van Buren.
Oh, I know who he was after.
This one's sort of famous because he died in a month.
William Henry Harrison.
Very good. Very good.
Then I don't have a clue.
All right. The 10th president was John Tyler.
Okay. Then I don't have a clue.
Okay, then James K. Polk.
Okay. Then I don't have a clue.
Then it was Zachary Taylor.
Then I don't have a clue.
Then it was Millard Fillmore.
Okay. Then I don't have a clue.
I think he was assassinated, so after him was Franklin Pierce.
Okay, then I don't have a clue.
Then it was James Buchanan.
Okay, I know who is after.
Right.
I know that's Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
Then it was Andrew Johnson.
Yes.
Then it was Grant.
Yes.
Then I don't have a clue.
Okay. Then the next one was Rutherford B. Hayes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Then it's the man with the cat's name.
Yes.
Garfield.
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I remember
The
him.
man with the cat's name.
Yep. Then I don't have a clue.
Alright, then it was Chester A. Arthur.
Okay, no clue.
Then Grover Cleveland.
Okay, no
And then
clue.
this is where the history gets a little weird because it's Cleveland, and then Benjamin Harrison, and then Cleveland again.
Yeah.
Then after that is William McKinley.
Oh, I know who's after that.
Mm-hmm.
Because McKinley, I'm pretty sure it's Roosevelt, right?
Yes, it is Teddy Roosevelt.
And after Roosevelt was Taft.
Yep. The fattest president.
And then it was Wilson.
Yep, then it was Wilson.
Then it was Harding.
Uh-huh.
Who was after Harding?
The next one was Calvin Coolidge.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right.
And then after that it was Herbert Hoover.
Yeah, then we have Roosevelt again.
Yep. Franklin Roosevelt, yep.
Yeah. It was Truman after him,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Eisenhower.
Yep.
Kennedy.
Yep.
Johnson.
Yep.
Nixon.
Yep.
Ford.
Yep.
Carter.
Yep.
Reagan.
Yep.
Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Bush.
Mm-hmm.
Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Monkey.
Right.
Yay!
Very good. Very good.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at U.S. president.
I am impressed.
Yeah.
I am very impressed with that. All right. You know what? I think we're gonna stop the show on that note.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we're on a pretty high note there. So I think that's where we'll end it for this week. So why don't we get into our quick plugs? You can follow the show on Twitter at WrestlingShow11.
You can follow me on Twitter at I am Fro.
Yes, you are.
I am Fro.
He is. You can follow me on Twitter at House of Bill. You can join our Facebook group. It's growing more and more. There are more people coming in. Just type in That Wrestling Show fan group, and you are right there. And if you can't find it in the search bar, don't worry. I always put the link in the description box, and you are right there. Check out the website, thatwrestlingshow.com. Visit the Patreon page, patreon.com/Bill's World of Podcasts, where your support will help out this show and other shows that I work on as well. Also want to do a quick plug to our Vantage Point, the Retro Wrestling Podcast that you can listen to each and every Monday with Michael Quinn and Joe Marotta as they go through the retro world of professional wrestling. This week they had a very hard task to do because they went through 1993 in wrestling. Not a good year there, Fro. Not a good year. What did you guys talk about this week on Another Digital Citizen?
Well, other than a 40-long discussion of what free speech is, the news about someone that was removed from YouTube that I will not promote. We talked about the worst movie of all time according to IMDb, and yeah, that was good. We had a little tournament of bad movies.
The worst movie according to IMDb.
Yeah, well, we went through their IMDb top bottom 150 thing, and we picked the ones on the bottom that both me and Luke had watched, and decided what movie of those bottom movies was the worst movie.
Ooh, I might have to find this list now. Let me see.
IMDb's bottom 150 worst movies. Yeah, I can already tell you that it was a really, really awful movie that won the tournament.
Was it a movie? I'm just gonna ask. Was it a movie that MST3K made fun of?
Yes.
Ooh. I'll tell you my guess when we're off the air.
Okay.
This week on Shark's Pond, I talk about probably one of the better episodes of Season 7, Red Man's Greed.
Ooh.
Which is a really good episode. You guys should definitely check that one out. So next week, we are going to preview SummerSlam. We are also going to preview NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. The main event has changed. For those who have not heard, it was originally going to be a triple threat match. Aleister Black is now out of the match. He is injured. So we are going to get Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano for the NXT title in a last man standing match. So that's going to be pretty good. So we'll talk about those matches or those events. Plus, we're also going to I'll talk about the ending to the G1 Climax, along with other wrestling news that is going on. So, on that note, everybody have a good, safe weekend. Have fun, no matter where it is that you are. And when you are done hanging out with your friends or doing whatever it is you do, or if you're working for Ring of Honor New Japan, celebrating that you sold out Madison Square Garden, come back here next week for another episode of That Wrestling Show, the only podcast where all pro wrestling matters. And as always,
wrestle on!
Wrestle on!